Welcome to sportsbookraeview.com. I'm Flash, and this is your baseball show. We're going to go CPBL, and it could well be the last time we mention the Taiwanese baseball, but KBO, that will be staying. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that a little bit later. We've got 2 games from Taiwan, and we've got the full 5 games from South Korea. Now, if you like this video, then please press the button, press thumbs up, and subscribe, because then we can notify you and let you know of any content. You will never miss anything again. Press the link in the description and you may well, and I say may well, and Jay will confirm, get an article on the CPBL and KBO, but it will be your last one because it's NPB from Monday with the KBO. We're going to Japan. We're going to get the big guns out. We're leaving Taiwanese baseball alone. Jay, how are you? And have you done the last article for the CPBL?
Yeah, we're done with the CPBL, but like I said, on Twitter, I'm going to have a rundown for every game and every day on my Twitter, so you can follow me at my name, just Jason_Radowitz, and there you'll be able to see all my leans for those games as well. So I had a couple people yesterday that were disappointed that we were going to get rid of the CPBL, but I told them on my Twitter, I'll give you guys the scoop. So follow me on Twitter if you want the CPBL scoop. Other than that, though, it was a crazy morning. 3 games where we lost by 1 run, so it wasn't too fun. But again, it was kind of fun watching the MPB in action in their first game of the season, so that was a lot of fun. The CPBL had some pretty exciting games with a walk-off win by the Brothers and the Guardians pulling off a 1-run victory. So it was a fun morning of baseball, even though I lost my bets.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Bears and the Twins, 28, 18, 10. What's going on there? That's a basketball score.
Yeah, that's just how baseball goes sometimes. Sometimes in the first game of the series, that's what happens when teams don't really know each other or are not comfortable against each other just yet. Both pitchers just absolutely went off the wall. The offense is just destroyed. Lots of fun, but the game took forever. So.
Okay, and just to let everyone know that, yes, on Monday it will be KBO and it will be MPB. MPB, it's 2 leagues of 6. So we've got 12 sides going to be matching up in the Central and the Pacific League. But I'm looking forward to that. Fresh start for everyone in the Japanese baseball. But let's crack straight on. We're going to go with the Brothers and the Monkeys. The Brothers now sitting at the top, Jay.
Yeah, that's just how it's always, I think it's going to be for the rest of the season. Right now, we have the Brothers pitching Ariel Miranda, and then the Monkeys are pitching Eli Villanueva. We talked about Villanueva in his last start. He just came back from a large time in the minor leagues. We talked about how the Monkeys, their pitching staff has been pretty bad as of late, so they needed some reassurance and just another pitcher in the starting rotation that could potentially perform. He performed really well in the minor leagues, but he did have that start against the Brothers where he went 7 innings, so he went pretty deep, but he allowed 6 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and then 9 hits with 107 pitches. Wasn't a terrible outing for a CPBL starter, but it wasn't good enough. And he'll be facing Ariel Miranda. He'll have to be almost perfect against Miranda. Miranda has a 3.52 ERA on the season. He's 3-4 win-loss, but that's kind of doesn't really do him justice. In his last game against the Monkeys, he struck out 12 batters, only allowed 4 runs in 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 homer. He did have 5 walks, but that's a little uncharacteristic and probably won't happen again. So I would lean towards Brothers at around -190. It might hit the 200 range. If it does, then be my guest, but I wouldn't touch it if it goes over that because anything can happen in this league, as we know. I'd also go towards under 11.5. I do think having 2 and 4 pitchers on the mound will be good. The Monkeys' offense has not been good at all, and I think Villanueva can at least shut down the Brothers' offense just a little bit to keep the game under.
It's amazing that we're talking about a team against the Monkeys being -190. I mean, we just go back maybe 3 or 4 weeks and it was a case of the Monkeys would be -200 before you even start. Okay, what about the Guardians versus the Lions, Jay?
So we saw this morning Henry Sosa pitched a well enough game to win for the Guardians by 1 run. Now we have Josh Renicky of the Uni Lions going against Wu Hao Ching of the Guardians. Both these guys have crazy ERAs. Renicky has a 7.71 ERA, then Chang has a 6.56 ERA. We just saw the Uni Lions, they just got rid of import pitcher Don Roach. They're going to be adding another import pitcher. And Renick's been pitching pretty poorly too, so he must know his time is up if he continues to pitch poorly. In his last start against the Guardians, he had a no decision, but he went 7.1 innings, which was his longest start of the season. And he only allowed 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 5 hits, 2 walks in that game. He looked his best. Up against Go-Ho Chang, he faced the Uni Lions, and yeah, he pitched really well in his first 3 games against the Uni Lions, but in this one, he allowed 7 runs in 3 innings pitched, 8 hits, and 3 home runs. Ridiculous, really bad outing. A little uncharacteristic for Chang as well. I would lean towards the Uni Lions at minus 160. I do think there's probably more value for the Guardians at this point with both these pitchers going against each other. I do think that Renick is going to he's going to pitch better now, seeing that Don Roach is out of the picture. You could tell they were best friends in the bullpen. They'd always be sitting next to each other, always talking. So now Renick must know, like, all right, now I really have to figure it out, because once that second season comes, they might look at another import pitcher to replace him if he doesn't perform. And with a 7.71 ERA, that's kind of risky for him to be staying around. But I'd also lean towards under 14.5. If I were to pick any bet out of these 4, my under 14.5 would be the bet for the CPBL. I'm not going to really be betting in this league unless I see a real nice pick. But if I were to pick one, it would be under 14.5 in this one. You had Chang in his first 3 outings against the Uni Lions. He pitched fabulous, only allowed 6 runs in those 3 games. So I expect him to perform a little bit better. He won't allow 7 runs. He also won't allow 0 runs. But I do think it'll be much under 14.5 with both these pitchers going.
Yeah, I mean, what springs straight to mind is that the Guardians maybe team total under. If that's around 6.5, maybe 7 point. Yeah, it'd be about 6.5, wouldn't it? If they're minus 160, the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go.
I think the team total will be 8.5 for the Lions, and then I think like 6.5 for the Guardians. If you had a line like that.
Okay. Well, let's go to the KBO. Giants versus the Wiz, Jay.
All right, yeah, this is a fun one. We have Adrian Sampson of the Lotte Giants going, and he didn't start the season with the team, had a quarantine, came back in the middle of the season, or not in the middle of the season, but earlier middle of the season. He has a 7.78 ERA, has a 4.14 FIP. So right there, you realize how unlucky he has been to start the season. But still, in his 4 starts, he hasn't looked good. His only win is against Hanwha, and that was during their long losing streak, so that's not really that important or impressive at all. But then, on the other hand, KT, they're pitching So Hyun Jun. Hyun Jun also hasn't passed the 5th inning in his last 2 starts. He's allowed 10 earned runs and 3 home runs in those 2 starts. So, yeah, where do you go from here? I think Sampson's a better pitcher. He hasn't performed well, but I think that he's also been a little bit unlucky to start the season. His command hasn't been good. He hasn't been great. So I would stay away from picking a team in this one. If I were to pick a team, it would be Lotte at minus 120. It's a close one with the money lines are pretty close together. But if I was going to make an actual play, this will also be a lean. But if I was going to make a play, I would take over 10.5 in this matchup with 2 guys with an FIP of 4 and 5. And Sampson's got a 7.78 ERA, and then Hyun Jun has a 6.34 ERA. So I like to go over to go 10.5. The Lotte Giants offense, it looks like they might be figuring out just a little bit. They scored 7 runs in the first inning in their last game, but then KT scored, came back. They were down 7-0, and then won 9-8 in extra innings, which was a crazy game. We had KT, thankfully. We finally had something go our way in that one. But yeah, I like over 10.5 in this matchup with 2 pretty poor pitchers on the mound.
Yeah, I mean, but both of these sides, maybe 5-6 days ago, they were struggling to score any runs. Then all of a sudden, they just go run crazy. But nearly every single game in the KBO last night went run crazy. So we're going to go to the Lions and the Tigers, Jay.
Right. So with the Lions and Tigers, we had under 8.5 in the morning, and the total was 9. So we lost that one by half a point or half a run. But I'm going to go right back and make an official play under 9.5. We get that extra run in this game. I always talking about Wante in the Samsung pitcher, the young phenom. He's he's only allowed 2 earned runs in 4 starts. His last 4 starts, he's 3-0 in those starts. He's looked phenomenal. Has a 2.30 ERA and a 4.25 FIP. But then you look at I am Ki Young of Kia. He's a back end starter, so he's a 5th starter. He's not like he wasn't supposed to be this good, but he's been tremendous as well. The best 5 starter in the KBO. He's got a 2.82 ERA and a 3.19 FIP with a 1.12 WHIP. He's been extremely impressive, like I said, and yeah, I just think that this game will also go under 9.5. I'm not confident in Samsung or Kia's offense right now. They're not looking that great. They just got a little lucky in the morning with an extra run. But yeah, I like both these starters. I should point out that Tae-in pitched better against Kia in his first game than Ki Young pitched against Samsung in his first go around. So if I were to pick a team, it would probably be Samsung at plus 118. There's more value there with one Tae-in. But yeah, my official play would be under 9.5 in this one. I like both pitchers going.
Okay, so we've got the Eagles and the Dinos, and obviously the Eagles now, they're getting beat every week, but now they only get beat, was it 3-1? So obviously the market moves to plus and minus 2.5. So the Eagles, if you're an Eagles backer with the handicap, you was a winner. But surprise, surprise,
Yeah.
Eagles, they got beat again.
Yeah, of course. It's just how it's been going for Hanwha. But, we've talked about, hey, if the lines are going to be this atrocious, and give Hanwha a plus 220 to plus 250 edge, then how do you not look at it and take it? Well, Hanwha, they have Warwick Suppold on the mound, right? The best pitcher on the Hanwha Eagles, a solid import pitcher with a 3.63 ERA and a 3.81 FIP. He already has a win against the NC Dinos this season. He allowed 3 runs in 6 innings, didn't pitch his best baseball, but still got the win. And Hanwha still scored enough runs in that game to win when he was on the mound. Then you have Lee J. Hawk on the mound for the Dinos. He was really bad in his last start, but he pitched well against Hanwha in his outing against them during their big losing streak. However, he did have a really poor outing, like I said, against Kiwoom in that last outing. So, I'm not going to take this game at all. There's no way, unless you put a gun to my head, I'm not taking this game. But how do you not take Hanwha at plus 220 with Warwick Suppold on the mound, who's got a 3.63 ERA and a 3.81 FIP? And then Lee J. Hawk has a 5.35 ERA, a 4.62 FIP, and he looked absolutely awful against Kiwoom, where Kiwoom was able to score 18 runs in that game. So I couldn't fathom taking the Dinos at any price that high. So Hanwha at plus 220 is going to be my lean for that. And I'd also go under 9.5. I do think that Warwick Suppold will hold it down. And then I think that Jayhawk will pitch a lot better because it's Hanwha's offense. But yeah, I don't know how you can't take Suppold in the spot.
I'll tell you why you can't take. Because they're the Eagles. They just find a way to get beat. They're rubbish. They got 1 run this morning. They only let 3 runs on the defensive side of the ball. And they still couldn't manage it. They're absolutely dreadful. Dinos, minus 2.5. Have a bit of faith. They will smash the Eagles. Okay, now what about this one, right? The Bears and the Twins, 28 runs. Have they adjusted it like that? So now are we going to get something mad like under or over 17.5?
The only reason why we're not is because we have Casey Kelly on the mound for LG, an import pitcher who's had some success in the league dating back to last season. Yeah, Casey Kelly's got a 5.21 ERA and a 4.08 FIP. He allowed 11 hits in his last start against Lotte. Still got the win in that game, but he didn't look his best, although he's looked pretty solid in other starts this season. It's just hard to figure out how he's going to perform against this Doosan Bears team that just destroys on the road right now. So while I think that Kelly's going to perform well, it's still just risky because the Doosan offense has been so good on the road, even without their 3 of their 4 infielders that are injured right now. But then you have Park Jong-ji for Doosan. He made his first KBO start since 2015 over the weekend in for Flexen. And he lost to Hanwha in that game. And he couldn't even get through 5 innings. He went 4.2 innings, allowed 3 runs against Hanwha. He got a 5.79 ERA and a 5.51 FIP from that one game.
He must have been injured, Jay. He must have been injured.
He's got some good strikeout numbers throughout his career. But he's going to also walk a lot of batters too. But right now, like I don't know what's going to happen with Kelly or the Doosan Bears offense, so I'm staying away from that. But I'm going to go with over LG runs for 5.5. I'll single out the Kelly the start, but I'll definitely hit on the Park Jong Ji start. And I take LG run 5.5. They scored 10 this morning against a much better pitcher, and so why not for an official play over LG team total for runs 5.5 at around -120.
Yeah, it's a banker material for me because I like both of these sides. I mean, the Twins, the Bears, they will be the top two sides. I mean, the Dinos, they're obviously going to have an absolute cakewalk at the moment because they're playing the Eagles. But I like the Twins and I like the Bears, and I think over 5.5, that's banker material now. The SK Wyverns used to be the strongest side in the league because they were propping everybody up. Now they're on a little bit of a roll and they're against the Heroes.
Yeah, I mean, they'd be so much better if it weren't for their closer. He's blown 6 saves this season. He just looks scared pitching right now for SK, and like that's the sad thing. Like they've only had 12 wins on the season, but they could have easily had 18 if he just performed a little bit better and didn't kind of pitch too scared. So yeah, SK blew another one. They lost to Kiwoom 2-1. Like I said, I was raving about Moon Seung Won. In yesterday's show, I was talking about how great of a pitcher he was. He went 6 innings, allowed no runs, and again, didn't get the win because, of course, the SK Wyverns blew the game in the 9th inning. But I'm going right back to SK here. I like over SK for their team total of 4.5, and here's why. Kiwoom starting Jo Young Gun. Jo Young Gun, he's actually walked more batters and struck out in 4 games this season. He started 3, he's relieved in 1, has a 5.4 ERA and a 6.58 FIP. Yeah, he hasn't looked good at all. And then Lee Jian-wook of SK, he's got 4 starts under his belt in 6 games. He has 2 relief appearances. It looks like he kind of restructured his career just a little bit. He was pretty bad in 2016 and 2017, but we kind of kept fading him over these first 4 games, and he's kind of performed a lot better than you would have expected. He has a 2.91 ERA and a 4.78 FIP, which is very respectable for a guy that we really didn't, coming in, we really didn't expect much out of him. His strikeout numbers aren't too high. He's got 15 strikeouts and 10 walks, so he's not going to overpower you or anything. But yeah, it's tough to know what he's going to do against Kiwoom. But I do think SK Wyverns could score a couple of runs against Kiwoom and get that over 4.5 in runs. They haven't scored more than 5 runs since the beginning of June. I think they've scored 6 runs a couple of times, but nothing more than that. So yeah, the 4.5 is a solid number. I think that they'll probably score 5 or 6 runs in this game against Kiwoom. Of course, their offense has been pitiful. I know that. I get it. But also, Jo Young Gun has been pitiful too. So something's got to give. One of these guys is going to have to falter. One of these guys are going to have to perform. And I would expect that it's SK that scoring the runs against Jo Young Gun.
Okay, well, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell, and then we will notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And also give us a thumbs up. Press the thumbs up. That shows your appreciation to Jay and all his hard work. And also, it's one of those, it jolts him because next week we're going to have Japanese baseball. Jay, give us a rundown, please, and parlay if you've got one. You don't have to do one, but I'd like your banker, even though I'm going to go with the Twins as your banker.
I think that you're onto something. But before that, Brothers -190 against the Monkeys, under 11.5. They're both leans for that matchup. For the Uni Lions and Guardians, we'll lean towards the Uni Lions at -160, but there's probably more value on the Guardians if you want to lean towards more value play. And then also under 14.5 as a lean. But that would be my top play out of these CPBL plays if you're going to choose one. For the KBO, we're going to look at the Hanwha Eagles versus NC Dinos. I don't see how you can't take Hanwha at +220. There's just too much value there. I'm not taking it personally, but there's too much value there at the end of the day to go against Hanwha there. So +220 as a lean there, under 9.5 also as a lean. For the Lotte Giants KT Wiz game, we'll lean towards Lotte at -120 and lean towards over 10.5 in that matchup. For the Doosan Bears LG Twins game, my official play will be over for the LG Twins on the run line, or runs 5.5. So over LG total runs 5.5. And also I'd lean towards the LG Twins at -180. Also in the SK Wyverns Kiwoom Heroes game, we'll look at the official play for over SK runs 4.5. And also lean towards SK at +123 in that matchup. In the Samsung Lions versus Kia Tigers game, we'll look at the official play under 9.5 and also lean towards Samsung +118 with the more value play there. And of course, the banker, Flash and I both agree on this. We're going to go over for the LG Twins runs 5.5 as the banker. And I don't have a parlay because there's really no game that I agree with in terms of who's going to win. I'm leaning on all of them, so I can't really give a parlay out there.
Okay, Jay. How excited are you that we're going to be going to Japan and doing the MPB on Monday? I love the fact that there's 12 teams. Obviously, there was only 4 in Taiwan. There's 2 groups of 6. So we can really get our teeth into it and find, because it's so early in the season, find the value early.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because in the Pacific League, they're actually playing 6 straight games against each other in the same location. So it's from Tuesday to Sunday. They're all playing. They're playing the same teams back to back to back to back to back to back. And then in the Central League, they're just playing 3-game series. So we'll have series from Tuesday to Friday, or Tuesday to Thursday, and then Friday to Sunday. So it's going to be really interesting to see how. I've never really seen baseball between in 6-game series. Will be really interesting to see because I'm assuming that teams like the CPBL, teams like the Monkeys, or teams like the Brothers will just gang up on the lower tier teams in the 6 games and probably find a lot of value in that. So it'll be really interesting to see it, but it was really fun this morning as well. So be good.
I like the fact that my graphics team are going to be absolutely over the moon. I do all the graphics for the week on the Monday, and on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they say to me, "Do you need?" No. I'll give them to you. Give them to you on Monday. They're not going to change. Anyway, listen, have a great weekend. I will be swatting up on the Japanese baseball over the weekend. Really looking forward to Monday already, Jay. Have a great weekend. And the banker, the Twins, over 5.5. You take care, Jay.
Let's do it. You too. Thank you.
Hey, and that brings us to the end of another week. Been okay, so-so. But the Twins, they'll get us some money to go into the weekend. And we'll see you again on Monday. And again, it will be KBO, South Korea, and the Japanese MPB. You take care.